Hi, students. This video is just a video about the transition from our last unit to this new unit and to Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, which is one of my favorite books. I love sharing it with students. We have, so far in this class, looked at the Age of Enlightenment, in which many writers and thinkers were exploring how do we pursue knowledge, and they were incredibly excited about the ability to break free from feudalism and to sort of throw off the yokes of authority from the church and monarchies and learn and discover things for themselves. And obviously, there are an incredible amount of human achievements that come from that era, including our Constitution. It's an Enlightenment document. But we also saw with Frankenstein in the second unit of our course that human progress is not without error. And many of you may have explored or may be exploring in your Frankenstein paper other ways technological advancements have had unintended consequences, because while science is an incredible field and practice, there are humans practicing science, and humans are very fallible, right? We're not perfect beings. And Victor Frankenstein talks about how he got carried away in a passion and when he was creating the creature, and maybe didn't think through all of the possible unintended consequences. And we looked at some visual artists of the Romantic period who were really questioning, is the railroad all good? Are we losing things with advancements like railroads and factories and other developments? So now we're going to take that a little further in this next unit and really think about the fact that, unfortunately, in human history, there have been humans have moved beyond error into downright cruelty and evil. And obviously, unfortunately, there are many good examples of that, the Armenian genocide for one. But we're going to be looking at the Holocaust in Germany in the late 1930s and early 40s. And we're going to be reading a memoir by a man, Viktor Frankl, who was sent to the camps as a Jewish person. He was just out of medical school. He was a psychiatrist. And he was in several concentration camps and almost died on many occasions. But ultimately looked at that experience. One of the ways he survived that experience was to look at it through the lens of a psychiatrist and to sort of notice how are some people surviving this? How are some people not surviving this? And I've always felt like his journey in the camps, his sort of mental and spiritual journey is really relevant in some ways to all of our journeys, because we all deal with at least unkindness at some point, and we live in a world where we are aware of evil, right? So I thought in this next unit that we should focus on reading this book and exploring this question: how do we as humans cope with a world where evil things take place? So that's what we're doing, starting to read Man's Search for Meaning. Let me know if you have any questions.